Good evening, everyone. It's Shelley Johns here from Gympie, and I'd like to welcome you all on the call tonight. So obviously this call is for everybody. So if you've got any team members, definitely invite them to be on this call. So it's for every single person, and there's lots of different topics covered. So we like to give value. And also it's recorded. So if there's someone that can't be on live due to other commitments, you can send out the recording to them as well. So make sure you've got a notebook and pen so you can take some great notes, because Jim Rohn always says you can't remember every good idea that you hear. So you've got to write it down. And have you had your heavy beverage today as well? I've got mine here. So I hope you've all got yours, because it obviously helps to keep us alert. Nice work, Mervyn. Great. So let's go on to the next slide. So we always kick off with, if I can find the arrow, it's hiding from me. I know it's there. There we go. We always start off with good news. So I'd love to hear from some of the people in the group, and these people are from all over Australia, and sometimes we have people from overseas as well. So we're going to kick off the good news with Jan from the Gold Coast.
Oh, hi, Shelley. Yeah, happened probably about 3 weeks ago, but things have happened since then as well. But I had a referral for a couple of NRGs, and the lady sort of lives several suburbs away, so she wanted me to post them to her because I couldn't get to her and she couldn't get to me. So luckily I put them in a red and white post pack. So I had a sort of like a referral number on that, because unfortunately the NRGs went astray. They went down to Melbourne instead of the Gold Coast. And she does work for the post office as well, so she was quite understanding. So anyway, a couple of days later, when we found out where they were and they're going to be delivered, she came on the Saturday and picked up another 2. So I gave her I didn't give her a discount, but I gave her an aloe gel for the trouble that she had to sort of go through. Now, since then, she's bought another 4 because she shared her results with a couple of other people, so she bought those. And since then, she's bought another 4. So the other day when she bought the most recent 4 bottles of NRGs, I gave her a body wash as a bonus product as well. So, and she's got her daughter who's just recently got married, and she wants her to go on the products when she comes back from her honeymoon. So hopefully we can sort of get together and go through the products with her. So you never know what can happen, but definitely if you're posting anything, make sure it's in an express post bag or a red and white bag, so you've got some sort of tracking device.
That's awesome, Jan. And so that's up for referral. And then obviously someone loves NRGs and they love them so much that they're telling everyone else about them. So that's a great result. And of course, then all of a sudden it just trickles out. Everyone wants NRGs, and they're such a good product. And I know that we can't make health claims, but I find them fantastic for sinus, and especially at the moment with the hot weather, because it was 39 here today, and there's obviously a lot of burning off going on. There's so much smoke. And I just found it's really good for keeping my sinuses clear, especially at this time of the year too, with a lot of pollens and that with the spring, and it's also windy. So even though, like I said, we can't make health claims, it's very, very effective for that. So that's great. Well, you have to keep us updated on how far these referrals go.
So out of that, there's been 4, 8, 12 NRGs from 1 referral.
Wow. That's fantastic. I know my friend Heine, who lives in Adelaide, she came off a flyer when I used to live there, and she was getting married. So she ended up losing, she went from a size 20 down to a size 10 for her wedding, and she ended up giving me 18 referrals. So there was basically 18 people at the wedding that were on the products, and I got to attend as well, and she looked amazing, and it was just great to have so all these referrals. Everyone was aiming for the same thing, and it was really great. So thank you for sharing, Jan. Now we have Mervyn from Canberra. So what's your good news for the week?
Hi Shelley. I had a call from a guy, and I thought it was him who wanted to go on the products, but I think he must be a carer for this lady. They were at the doctor's, and he said, this lady was on Herbalife some 20 years ago, and she wants to go back on it now. I said, that's okay. I have all the products in stock if you come over when you want to. She said, well, we live in Phillip. I said, well, that's not a problem. We can come to Phillip if necessary. But he said, no, we're in Belconnen, and we'll come over to you. So they came over, and she brought an ultra pack. And she took the cellulose on Saturday on her own, recognition from having taken it before, and she started on Sunday on the Ultimate program. And I rang her yesterday. I've just spoken to her tonight by text, and she says she's feeling really great. And we'll measure tomorrow, so we should have some results for next week.
That's fantastic,
and,
man.
and I think she must have come off. They must have come off the yellow pages.
Okay,
that's
great.
the only way I can think of.
Yep. So make sure you're in the yellow pages and white pages. You know, just do it. You know, make sure you just cover all your bases. So that's awesome. We'll look forward to hearing an update on the results. So thank you for sharing. So Irene, you're from the Sunshine Coast now. So what's your good news this week? I know you've got a really good result to share.
Yes, I know that we can't make claims. However, our training has taught us that the products do more than what we know. And as a lot of people are aware, Conrad has been in a hospital, and they've been giving him some very, very strong antibiotics. And the antibiotic they're giving damages the liver, and they were testing his liver. But I've been giving him Tom White from the trainings I've learned that it's very good, and no damage to his liver. So it means that they can continue with that heavy drug to kill the internal bacteria that's damaging him. So it's good, fantastic. Actually, we're very happy.
Yep.
And maybe, you know, Herbalife does amazing things. Amazing.
The power of good nutrition.
Yes, yes. He has his shake every morning. He has his products every day. Oh, and one other thing, because he's on antibiotics, he's using his probiotic a little bit more intently. And the doctors came in, and there's always lots of doctors, and they looked at the products, and they said that every product he had there would not affect his medication and to continue on it. And the probiotic was a very, very good one.
Thank you so much, Irene. We'll tell Con we said hello. We're sending him lots of healing energy too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lydia from Biloela. So what's your good news for the week? We'll see how your reception goes. I know it's a little bit cutting in and out.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me, Shelley? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. I'm out in the car shed at the moment. So, okay. So not last Friday, the Friday before, I was asked to hold the stall up at the local bowling club here. They actually had a chick for flick night, like for the ladies, go out for tea, come past the stalls, you know, raffles, free entry, that sort of thing. So I got a little bit of exposure there. So that was exciting. For that little market before the ladies took to the field to watch their movie, all we were asked was a donation. So I've actually donated a 3-day trial pack. In the past, I've actually put the product into the 3-day trial pack and handed it over. I've learned since then not to do that. What I do is just go onto the internet, print out the reward, and ask them to make contact. Therefore, I don't have 3-day trial packs going out the door and not being able to follow up these clients, possible clients, and ask questions down the drain when I don't hear from them. So that was a good night. 3 new VIPs last month. 2 of those new VIPs were new clients. One of them came through just from an advertisement from the challenge that I was having, and the other one just came from, actually spoke to him 18 months ago out at Blackwater, and he made the phone call. So Glenn himself has lost 5.1 kilos in 4 weeks, which is pretty cool. And the lady that's in my challenge and 4 weeks today on the product, she's lost 4.9 kilos, which is pretty cool. My 3rd VIP from the month was a friend of mine that was my very, very first VIP in the business 8 years ago. So never give up, always keep plastering Herbalife. She come back 8 years later. So she was my 3rd VIP for the month. And our online challenge is going really well as well, because we're all down 55 kilos on our 2nd week. So really looking forward to the results coming through on Wednesday for our 3rd week, and that goes for another 2 after Wednesday. So yeah, a little bit happening. And people are out there looking for something before Christmas to drop 5 kilos.
That's awesome. That's such fantastic. activity that you've got going on. So I have been seeing your challenge posts, so that's pretty cool, the results that you're achieving. And I love your idea that if you do give a trial pack as a prize, not to give them a voucher or whatever, so that you then are able to step them through everything rather than just handing it over. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Lydia. So there's a few of the good news for me.
No worries.
Thank you. We must have a little bit of a delay, but that's okay. So I did some flyers probably 6 weeks ago now here there's an estate here. It's quite hilly. I've only done half of it, I must admit. But one of the flyers on the way back up this really steep hill up to the house, Jackie called, or she texted me, and then I called her, and so she came to Fit Club and brought her friend Nikki. They got started on the challenge, they got a trial pack, then they upgraded to the full-size products, and then I VIP'd them, which all their packs arrived. So on Friday they came over and I sat with them and VIP'd Jackie first because she was the first person to call, and then put Nikki underneath her, so that's the first and second line. So my next step, because I tend to divide it, is show them how to order, because they'd already got their products. So I'll show them how to do that just in stages so they're confident. I went out walking and talking last Tuesday, so I think I had half an hour to do it because my car had some work on it and I had to rearrange my time. So I went into just a block of shops that I haven't done. I think I've done once, and there was like a nail technician, Carly, and just went in and introduced myself and had a chat. And she was quite interested, but she was busy doing a client's nails. So I got her card and I followed up on Saturday, but she didn't get back to me. She wasn't available. So I messaged her again this morning and just said, oh, hi, Carly, just letting you know I'm in the centre this week. These are the times I'm available if you wanted to come in for a free wellness evaluation. And and she messaged back and she's coming in Thursday. So that's really cool. I'm a bit excited about that because, it's very scary to do walk and talk sometimes. Very easy not to do them. I had an old client come back, which was great. So she'd been off the products for a few months, so she's got jumped on. And I basically, how sometimes when you're in the employment groups on Facebook, and you can see other people are posting in your area, and they're getting great responses. So I just kind of tweaked the ad, and also I didn't want it to look like a job. I wanted them to know it was we're local and that we're looking for wellness coaches, and it's not a job. So I've got 3 inquiries, so I'm trying to get them into the centre this week. So because I'm trying to do 3 HOMs a week, and I just finished the new PowerPoint presentation as well, which I've made it a bit more country looking. So I'm a bit excited about that. You might be interested in that, Lydia, just to make it look a bit more regional looking. So that was my good news for the week. So tonight's topic, let me just flick through, and I'd love to get feedback on what everyone's doing, is the art of retailing. And so I just wanted to show you some of my results as well for anyone. I think most of you know who I am on the call, but if you're sitting out someone that doesn't know, just, make sure you try and take a good before photo if you can. I found this one a little while ago. So I know how I was feeling in this picture. I was very sleep deprived. I was very tired and puffy. and I was getting my partner at the time to take the photo. I kept saying, because I kept looking at the photos after he took them, I said, you're not taking a good enough photo. Take a better photo, like it was his fault. I was looking that way. But you know what? A picture tells 1,000 words. And so this picture's really recent, the last 1 or 2 months. And so, here I am probably, 30, in my 30s, and this is 47. So I'll be 48 in February. So how cool is it that we've got this amazing nutrition that makes us look younger and feel younger and age slower, and people are wanting it, especially this time of the year. As Lydia said, people are wanting to lose some weight for Christmas. There's summer coming, like we just got this big thing of hot weather that usually scares most people into wanting to do something about it. And we need to put ourselves out there and use results. If you don't have a before and after photo like that, use someone else's. Use mine. I'm more than happy for anyone to use my result. Just make sure you've got the disclaimer on it, and keep sharing stories, because that's really what's going to get people inspired to get started. So let's just go through that. So I was always taught, just like recruiting, with retail, that there was 3 parts: how to generate, what to say, and follow up. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. So in the how to generate, obviously that's doing work, and you have to work, going out and talking to people to get inquiries. Okay, and then once we get an inquiry, doing the absolute best that we can to get a decision, whether that's a yes or a no. So if we don't talk to anyone, we're not going to get any results. So remember the none, some, lots. If you talk to none, you're not going to get anyone. If you talk to some, you'll get some people. If you get to talk to lots, you're going to get lots of inquiries. So you need to think about how many people am I going to talk to every single day. So the first thing I want you to do is work on your own personal result. And of course, we've got amazing people on this call that have been using the products for over 25 years plus. It's still working on your product result. Isn't that cool that we can keep doing that? So Jan, how do you feel? How long have you been on the products for?
Probably 32 years, I think.
32 years. So how do you feel about the products now compared to when you first started?
Absolutely fantastic, because I do feel without the products, I've got a very, very bad back problem, but without the products I don't think I'd be as good as what I am. Even though it still gives me pain and all that sort of thing, but at least being on the products, it does definitely help fantastically. And also vitality, energy and health, because I'll be 78 next year, so yes, which I think healthy aging is very, very important.
How many people comment on your skin then?
Yeah, a lot.
So amazing. Doesn't matter how old we are or how long we're on the products, you can still work on a product result. Yeah. It's like this. If there's maybe a product you're not using as much, you could maybe try and get a brand new result for it or something like that. So you could always work on your product result. So, and then know how to tell it. And you've heard us say this before. You can do a quick 30-second one. You might be standing in line, and then you've got that time at a barbecue or a family event or something like that. We've got that little bit of extra time where you can talk, and of course it's not always us talking the whole time. We're asking questions. We want to be interested in that person, not always interesting, and it's something I know I need to work on. And you need to be committed to the products and committed to whatever your goal is, and you want to be all in. Are you all in or are you all out? You've got to just make that decision and have that commitment, okay? Because it makes it easier for you to go out if you know that you're committed to doing it. And then you want to know what your goal is. What is your income goal? Do you need a couple $100 a week? Do you need something to pay the mortgage? What's the reason why you want this income goal for retail? And I was always told it was cash in your pocket every single day. And I know Mark Hughes' goal was $100 retail profit each day. And the reason for that is because it was exciting. I know Gary always said he was more excited about the retail income because it was like this cash that he got every single day, and it was, it was an income story you could generate. Hey, this is what I've made today, and it's giving you cash flow. You're also helping someone, so you're getting more results. So it's really exciting when that's happening all the time. Yes, it's great to get a check, but obviously that comes in once a month. But retail can be daily, which is fantastic. Did you have anything to add to that, Jan?
No, that's fine, Shelley. Excellent.
No, so
I know Gary used to really love his cash.
Yep. So remember, $100 retail profit each day. So if you're doing that 5 days a week, that's $500 in retail a week and $2,000 a month. That can make a real impact to somebody's lifestyle. That's free and clear above everything else. To do what you wish with it, it's really powerful, and to be able to teach someone else to do that as well. Then you want to have a look at your retail menu. So this is all the different ways that you can generate clients. So you've heard a few on these calls. There's obviously flyers, and some of you have come off these things. Ads, referrals, there's your car, there's going and doing markets and different events like Lydia just said. There's so many different ways, including social media as well, that you can do to attract and generate clients. And I always think if you're trying to attract people to you, sharing before and afters and just showing that you live a healthy, active lifestyle is attractive, and people want to know what you're doing. And basically they'll come to you. But you also want to make sure you're choosing at least 4 methods of marketing so that your table is stable. If you've only got one, and I know I've said this before, like for example, if you've got doing flyers, and just say it was today, 39 degrees, didn't really want to go out and do flyers today. I did some walk and talks, but I didn't go and do letterboxing. It was so hot. And if, say, have I had to have done that for the day and that was part of my 90-day plan, well, I haven't really done what I said I was going to set out to do. I'm not, my commitment, I didn't follow through on my commitment. So you want to make sure you've got 4 methods. So it might be flyers, it might be ads, it might be some posters or things on notice boards, and maybe some sort of social media promotion that you're doing, or some posts and things like that. So you've always got 4 things. It doesn't matter if something happens, like you get rain and you can't go out and do your flyers, or maybe something happens to the newspaper ad, it didn't go in. You've still got 3 other methods to take up the slack. And there's lots and lots of different ways of generating clients. So Mervyn, what's your favourite way of getting customers? Obviously you've got the yellow pages and white pages, which is very effective. What's your other favourite way? Oh, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself. Sorry.
Both the vehicles I've got have got advertisement on them, side, back, and doors, whatever. I like talking to people, so walk and talk. I do flyers, but I don't do as many flyers as I used to, so I don't find it works very well for me. But other than that, I put business cards in Woolworths and Coles, where they've got their little card holders. So I put them in there. And basically, that's mine.
Yeah, well, that's lots of different methods. There's definitely 4 in there, which is fantastic. And sometimes you are going to get a method maybe doesn't pay off as well. But then if you're consistent with that method, it's almost like this thing where, you're being consistent in everything, so something's going to fire off somewhere. So the key is to be consistent in all the methods, even if you feel like sometimes one's not giving you as much as possible. It's like, having the sticker on my car and having it for the whole year, and then Kath next door sees it in the driveway and calls, and that's actually the only call I've had, but Kath's still on the products now, comes over every Friday to do results and have a good chat, and she's always bringing things over for the girls and other people as well. She's really lovely, and she messages me every day too. So it's been a really great relationship to get to know my neighbour and help her with her health. She's looking fantastic. And I'm always using Jan's and Rosemary's and Irene's results because she can relate to you as well. So you just don't know when that one method's going to fire off. So Irene, what's your favourite way of getting customers?
I think my favourite way, like Merv, is walk and talk. However, I like to wear my button, and I use the button a lot. And you still get button hits. You may have social media, but you still get button hits. And I particularly wear it into the hospital. And it's amazing how many people check the button out, and make some comment and with the products there. But my very favorite was the one I did from the very beginning, was to go out and just introduce myself and tell them a little bit about just my story. And then after that, then if I see interest, depending on the situation, I either continue or I give them my card or I get their number. I do it according to what the situation is. But that's my favorite. Con does social media. I'm afraid that's not my strength. I think I have to learn it now. There's always good in everything. And also he puts in ads, and that's something he's always done. And then referrals. And it's really nice when you get referrals because you're doing a good job.
Absolutely. So it's a nice way of finding out, isn't it? You're on the right track because you're getting referrals.
Yes.
Excellent.
And just a little story today. I had a window cleaner come that I didn't know to clean the windows because I thought if Connor's coming home, he needs to be able to see out. And because he's very housebound. And I had my products just there that had arrived, and he said, "Oh, Herbalife, I know that. I know NRGs." So he said, as he was going, and I gave him an instant beverage, which he loved. And as he was going, he said, "Look, I will let people know what you're doing and get you referrals." Wasn't that nice?
Absolutely.
Absolutely nice. So, I'm slowly finding my way around here. I'm a slow learner, I'm afraid.
Doing fantastic and really great tips too. Thank you, Irene. That's awesome. Lydia, what's your favourite retail method?
Hey, Shelley. So, yeah, obviously, like you guys, I have a lot of what I call set and forget. And that just happens daily without even thinking about it. And they're things like the button, wearing the brand, always, every second day have a Herbalife singlet on, use the product, obviously, and, try and stay the best I can, being a product of the product. So to me, they're just set and forget. That's just what's in your blood. The things that I do like to do is just going to the markets and the things like at the bowling club, having a table display, having that conversation. Another thing is, is just working with my first line and, making sure that they're getting the best possible results. So, the referrals come through. And I've already got 2 referrals from that lady that's lost 4.9. Her husband's getting on the product, and Rebecca, her best friend, which is her cousin. So, yeah, that's something that obviously is set and forget, because if you're doing it, it'll happen organically. The other thing is I renew all of my posters around town. So I pay for 6 months at a time. At the post office and notice boards and that sort of thing in the shopping centre itself. So I think it's $4 a month. So yeah, I pay for 6 months, and that's just set and forget. Yeah, another thing is, every time we seem to run a weight loss challenge online, the advertising for that not necessarily gets me always into the challenge, but it's just it coming from the advertisement that I end up getting 1 to 2 new clients. And just my Herbalife page on Facebook, just keeping that alive, every day or every second day posting on that. So, I can see that people have liked the page recently. I saw that 8 liked it after the Friday night event. So 8 of them, whoever must have seen me there weren't looking for me. Yeah, so just that sort of thing, just letting people know that you're always in business without having lulls, like without going quiet for too long a period. Yeah, so yeah. And flyers, obviously, yeah. The flyers that I sort of put out once a month. But yeah, I haven't done flyers here for a few months myself in Billow.
So you came off a flyer too, didn't you, Lydia?
Yeah, yep.
So, so yeah, doing a bit of everything is great, especially when you're in a country town and we've got limited letterboxes. You've just got to make everything count. Just do as much as you can whenever you can. Even if it's a street here or a few houses here, whatever you can do, just it all adds up over time. You just got to fit in what you can around what you're doing and be as consistent as you can. And if you think that you're listening to someone that's got a really great method and you want to know what they're doing, I'm sure you can message them and get the flyer they're using or the poster they're using as well, so that you can just duplicate it and you're not coming up with your own thing and reinventing the wheel. You just want to copy what works. If you know something's working, just copy it. That's what I would suggest, and just follow it like a recipe. And again, the numbers. So I find with flyers, and this doesn't always work well in Gympie because it's helium and there's 8,000 letterboxes, so it doesn't take much to get through the letterboxes to where you have to get back to number 1 again. So obviously going into businesses and walking and talking and all these other things are you have to do as well. You've got to get creative and think outside the box a bit. But generally on a proven flyer, for every 500 you should get between 1 and 4 calls. That's the stats that I've always worked on. So if that's not happening, let me know and we can have a chat after the call if you need help with your flyers or anything like that. So you just want to keep building momentum. And guess what? At the start, when you first start something, does it feel like sometimes you're putting in heaps of effort and not getting much back? Probably. You've got to have that faith that it's going to work. And as long as you're copying something that's proven and that other people using, getting the same sort of results, and just be consistent and just keep doing it as often as you can, as consistent as you can, okay? Because building that momentum is really important. Jan, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, that's fine, Shelley. That's great.
I'm just looking for where you are. There you are. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. I just wanted to welcome Eileen to the call. Hello. Just saw you there. You're on the second list. So how are you? Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Cool. So where are you from? Where are you living now?
Yarrabilba, which is down near Jimboomba.
Oh, okay, in Queensland.
Queensland, yeah.
Excellent. Well,
Queensland.
Glad to have you on the call.
Thank you very much for that. really quite interesting. Enjoying the calls immensely.
Oh, lovely. Well, it's recorded, so we can listen to it again, or sit down with a team member and get them to listen to it as well.
Excellent.
Cool. So let's go on to the next slide if I can find the arrow. I know it's here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so what to say. So yes, it's great when we do all this work to get a phone call or someone's asked you off your button, and then you have to be able to say, talk to them in a way that's going to draw out what they want, and then you help them to do that and getting a decision, because not everyone's going to say yes, and that's okay. Don't take it personally if someone says no. And this is why we do personal development, work on ourselves, because sometimes people are in different things in their life where they just might not be ready, and it's okay. So you've got to get strong. And I always thought it was like water off a duck's back if you get a no, because it's not no to you, it's usually whatever they're going through. Okay, so and then you just move on to look for that person that you can help. So you want to use a script, and there's lots of different scripts out there. I know there's the career manual has some resources in there, but you really just want to ask those 5 questions. And the main one is, are you serious? Because you want to know if they are serious. If they're not, they just might be curious, and that's okay too. What have they got to lose? What is their goal? And what have they tried before? And why didn't it work? And why do they want to do it now? They've got something coming up that they want to do it for. So you're getting some sort of goal or time frame as well. So look, sometimes when you're in line and you're trying to think of these things and then remember them, sometimes it can be harder. So you just might want to grab their details and then follow up on them when they're not busy. So I just did this last Tuesday. I did a walk and talk at a BP service station. It was the last one I did on that run where I got Carly as well. And Manny just said, I'd like to lose 5 kilos. So I said, oh, no problems. I informed her a little bit. I asked her a little bit about, did her family live here or how long they've been here in Gympie. Obviously, I knew what she did because she's working in the service station, so I didn't ask her that. And asked a quick goal, and then I said, hey, I know you're busy at work. Why don't I grab your number and I'll give you a call. You can come into the centre for a free wellness evaluation. So I've got her number. She hasn't responded back yet, but I've got it here, which is really cool. There it is. You can see me. And I'll just flip back up and you can see. Oh, there you go. Did everyone see what I held up or not? You did? Okay. I just couldn't see myself. So trying to get their numbers if you can. I'm not always great at it. Sometimes I feel like I'm imposing or whatever, but the more phone numbers you can collect, it puts you in control of being able to call them back at a time that suits them. And it's not being pushy or anything like that. It's just you're doing the best for them and you're doing the best for you. It's a win-win situation. So use your career manual for those resources. Make sure you know how to package your story. I know this is something Lydia's really strong on, is packaging a story and teaching a team how to package their stories. You just want to use all the facts in a way that you can deliver it to someone very quickly. You might have a button on which already tells your story. You might have a before photo that you can show someone. They're all really powerful ways of conveying your results to somebody in a very quick way. Then if you're not really sure on how to use the script, do some practice calls with your mentor, your family or friends. And the reason I like to do some practice calls with my team members is because I can be a really nice, easy customer, and then I can be a difficult customer because you don't want them to just have this great run bit and then not be expected. You've got to set their expectations up and develop their skills and get them over that fear of rejection and difficult things, because nothing's ever a problem, okay? So before you talk to someone, how's your attitude? If you've got a crappy attitude, don't talk to them. We've all heard the Millionaire Training tapes where Laurie Thompson says, if you're not in the right frame of mind, don't talk to them. What film have you got in the projector, which is obviously very old school, but what are you putting into your mind before you go and talk to someone? So if you're still not sure, tape yourself and record it. And then, so great thing about mobile phones these days, got video yourself talking and play it back, and you'll pick up, and you're saying too many ums and ahs and maybe something you shouldn't have said. It's a great way of refining your the way that you talk to people. And guess what? The only way you're going to get good at it is to make mistakes. I made lots of mistakes. I mean, I would do flyers and get calls, and then I'd take 2 weeks to call them back because I was too scared to call them back. And then they weren't interested when I called. I wonder why. And then I would, you know, sometimes people might hang up on me or just say the wrong thing. And then I'd say something brilliant, you know, like sticking to the script, but to say it in a way that felt like me. And it was a yes. And it was really exciting. I'm like, wow, that's what I need to copy for next time. The same delivery, the same excitement, the same attitude, you know, in those words that I use. Then you want to book them into a wellness evaluation, which you can do over the phone and you can do face-to-face, okay? So don't think that a wellness evaluation has to be face-to-face. It doesn't. You can do them over the phone. There's 2 different ones, and get good at doing that as well. Practice with your friends and family. What a great way to get them knowing about the products and what their goals are and everything is just by practicing. And then you want to ask for a decision. You don't want a maybe. You want a yes or a no. You don't want to, I'm going to think about it. And if someone said, oh, can you give me a couple of days, definitely follow up on it. You want to be right on the ball, write it in your diary or however you record everything, and make sure that you do follow up for a decision. Okay, so you want to be super organized and you want to do what you say you're going to do. So on the what to say, Irene, did you have anything to add to that?
I was just going to say that with your team, something that helps them, especially with this, with the script, is to not use your mobile because it'll have your name and that, but take up a phone and ring them and pretend you are a potential client interested in the products. You will be amazed how some will definitely not go through the 5 questions, but that way it's a good training tool. So you can just ring them and it'll help without them knowing you're going to ring. That really has been very beneficial.
I like that one, the element of surprise.
You'll be so surprised, everybody. And you know, I fell down too. But it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of, because then you realize, oh my gosh. And then your coach can pull you up and help you in what you need to improve on, or tell you it was fine, whatever. But at least that's a good way to train people, because the phone is what they're going to be using to talk to people.
Yep. So, you know, I mean, the way that I was taught in the business was I would get a call. I'd pretty much be doing the script and asking for decision over the phone just in that script. That's how I was taught. But these days we book them in for a wellness evaluation. Probably seems like a bit of a longer process, but obviously nothing beats face-to-face really at the end of the day. But you can still do a script with those questions. And then going through the fastest options, and then you've always got the trial pack as a backup if they're not ready to buy, because Gary always said to me, don't use the trial pack as your first option. He would have said give them the 3 options, faster and faster, so if they can't afford any of them, then you can go for a trial pack and then upgrade them that way. So I always remember him saying that. But whatever works for you is fine. Some people love the trial pack system, like obviously Kelly and Brett Yateman are doing an amazing job with their wellness evaluations, you know, doing 15 of them, then 10 trial packs, 6 clients and 1 member, which I really love that. And I'm friends with them on Facebook, and the amount of recognition these guys have got coming through with Get Team and Mill Team and everything, obviously what they're doing is working. So whatever system you have with your organization, you know, stick to that. If it's working, you don't have to change things. But if you're feeling like you haven't got that in place, then these are some of the things that you can do. But make sure you've got a script. I know on Challenge Yourself Daily in the file section, I'm sure there's quite a few retail scripts in there. And, you know, there's always more as well. So if anyone wants to share their retail script, just email or PM it through to me and I can add it to the group. Okay, so let's go on to the last part of the formula. So we had how to generate, which is finding customers. Then, you know, to talk to, then what to say, which is this one, and then the next one is follow up. And obviously we've always taught follow up equals fortune, and there's a great section in the career manual for follow up, but nothing beats personal experience. So often if someone's been a customer first, so for example, Jan was a client first, so she got followed up on the products, so the best way for her to learn was that she learned from personal experience. So tends to be however you will follow it up is probably how you will follow up your customers in general. That's how it works. And so I came through as a business thing, so I had to learn how to do follow-up myself. And I did make some mistakes. I sometimes didn't call people when I said I was going to and that, but I guess what I learned from losing customers and things like that, to know that much easier to keep a customer than to keep going and finding new ones. So if you can keep lots of long-time clients, long-term ones, getting referrals, then you're getting new ones as you go along as well, that's a much better way to go. Okay, so you want to have a card system or a spreadsheet or something. So I've got like a, I'm trying to find it, like a blue book here, which has got all the files in it. So I just take it everywhere. It goes to Fit Club with me. It's going to the centre with me tomorrow. It's here at home if people are coming home to here. And then basically I've just got their personal details and their kind of eating habits, so I can see what they're doing. Then I've got, which I'll show you a few different ones as well, their results. So I've got all their weight and measurements. And then if I'm able to and they live close enough, I've got their body composition with the body scan with the Tanita scales. So they're the three things that I use all the time. I staple them all together. If they don't live near me, I get them to fill it out, take a photo and send it to me, and then I fill out a copy. So I've always got a copy on me, and I find that much better because I can see what's going on. I can write notes down as I'm going, and that's how I do my follow-up system. Hey, baby. Jen, how do you do yours? What's your follow-up system?
Pardon me, basically the same as yourself, Shelley. It's paperwork I've used for years and years and years. I do have a questionnaire form that I go through with people. This is like obviously long before we had the wellness evaluations and things. But I still use my original paperwork, go through, you know, their eating habits, all that sort of thing. And then I have a sheet that I give to people, points to cover, to remind them about what to do and what not to do. That helps in making sure they take their weights and measurements and their photo and things like that. And also their weight and measurements, you know, record those. And all you can do is be supportive. I do like to send people visual things or give them visual things about water, because a lot of people don't drink anywhere near enough water. I've got a couple of things that are visual and that, you know, a bit of fun thing. And that really sort of helps them in that respect as well. But with your follow-up, you've just got to sort of find out, you know, build that relationship with them and try and follow up as best you possibly can. I've got a very difficult husband and wife at the moment, and I've sent them emails, I've phoned them, left messages, and they're just not getting back to me, unfortunately. They have repurchased some products, a wellness, a breakfast program each, and a protein powder for the wife, because she does need to lose a lot more weight than the husband. So my next and final thing that I can do, apart from, you know, keeping in contact as best I can, is send them an actual written letter. Jim Rohn always said, you know, sometimes people, you know, clear their emails without even reading them. But something in an envelope addressed to them, hopefully they'll open it and read them, because, you know, as we know, unless you talk to people and help fine-tune what products they're using, they may not get the result they should be getting. And I have said that in emails and things like that. So all you can do is just do your best possibly that you can. But follow up, follow up, follow up, and follow up.
Awesome. And so if even us that have been in the business a long time still get different customers or customers that disappear. So don't think that it only happens to you, these things. And like as Jan said, all you can do is your best for them. You know, your best intentions, and you know, and most of the time people will appreciate it. Sometimes they won't, but that's okay. You still just got to do your best anyway. And I know Lydia calls it the rockstar follow-up. You want to find out what works for you and how to talk to people. Like I've got different types of people. I've got some that are quite fairly quiet, so I'm not as outgoing with them. And then I've got some that like Kath next door. She likes a bit of a joke, and I can be a little bit more, you know, kind of candid with her, but she likes that. So, and then you've got some that you've got to be tough with, and some that are a little bit more delicate with their emotions. So you've just got to, you know, get better at your people skills. So this is why, again, we do personal development and keep working on ourselves, because we're dealing with so many different personality types, and you want to build up your skills. You want to get good at dealing with lots of different types of people and have the skills to be able to do it. And it doesn't happen straight away, but it's worth, you know, I mean, I call it life skills basically. Add on value. I know Jan just said this. How many referrals of NRGs did you get? And she gave a product, or you can give a sample or something like that as a thank you. And guess what? If you give a product they're not using, they're more likely to reorder it. So I do love that. Giving recognition on Facebook. Look, not everyone likes that. Like, I've got someone that doesn't like to be recognised on Facebook, which is fine. So I respect her privacy with that. But there's different ways, even just PMing them personally or texting them or giving them a call. And that's another great way of just giving. The recognition can be done in many different ways, even like Jan just said, the old-fashioned way, posting out a card or something like that. You know, people do appreciate it. You've got different client support groups. I know I've got Healthy Active Lifestyles, so you're more than likely to welcome to put your clients on there, because that's open to everyone. It's a secret group, but it's a great one for recipes and results and things like that. But if someone's not on Facebook, then you need to go above and beyond and make sure you email it to them, post it, drop it over to the whatever you've got to do to get the same sort of resources to them. Okay, so make sure if they've got plenty of results to inspire them and lots of different recipes, and just you touching base with them consistently, they're going to do fine. You put them in the best possible case and way to succeed. Assume that they'll reorder. Don't say, oh, do you want to reorder? Just assume they will, because why wouldn't they if they're getting fantastic results? Talk about some of the other products as well. I'm sure however Jan's customers are talking about the NRG, they're doing a great job of it because heaps and more people want it. So, you know, be excited about the other products and talk about your own personal experience. And I mean, there's different variations on when to offer the VIP, but I definitely, if someone's not locked into the products and they're not excited about it, and they haven't been, say if they haven't upgraded to full retail, I'm not going to offer a discount to try and fix that problem. If they're having any issues, offering a discount and getting to VIP is not going to fix it. You need to make sure that they love the products before you do this, because you don't just want someone signing up and then they never order after that. You want someone to be consistently ordering every single month. Okay, and then showing them how to get a higher discount. So did you have any tips on that, Jan?
No, not really. I think you've covered it well. The other thing I forgot to mention is with these difficult people, I did send a whole bunch of, through the mail, testimonials. I didn't rely on email. So I've copied some and put them in the mail for them. So, you know, they've got everything at their fingertips to know that these products definitely work. But no, all you can do is just, like I said earlier, just do your best.
Yep.
I think one of the things that we were taught, Jan, if you remember, you can't care more for a person than they care for themselves. You can't care
Exactly.
than they care for themselves.
Yep.
And that's all you can do, don't you think?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I have spoken to them a couple of times and they have had some results. It's not as though they're not getting results, but it's just that they're not returning my calls this last week or my emails or anything like that, which is, you know, frustrating or fascinating, as Jim Ryan says. But I will still keep in contact, obviously. And like I said, the next thing is sending a nice letter and a card in the mail.
Yeah, good idea.
Yep. That's great. And, you know, you just never know. You just might get them. They might have had stuff going on and you've stuck
Yep.
with them and got them over the line. What are you doing? So here's some of the forms that we all use. And, yeah, there's different ones. Not everything's going to suit everybody, but you want to let people know what's available so they can use different things to keep track of what's happening. So every single month, so obviously we're at the beginning of November, you want to print one of these out or make one up in a book, however you want to. Put the month. Look, some people don't want 20 clients. That's fine. If you want 5, you can do a 5. Get 5, keep 5. Get 10, keep 10. Whatever it is, get 50, keep 50. Whatever your goal is for you. And then have some goals of what you'd like your volume to be for the week. And then a goal of how many clients, how many members, and how many supervisors you would like. Now, if you're happy to have a few clients, the supervisor thing, you know, you can leave blank, but down the track you might find that your goals change and then you want to start adding in helping people get to supervisor as well. So basically you put you here and whatever you're ordering for your own personal volume, and then every time someone orders, you write their name and what they've ordered. So if they order twice, I do 2 circles and the date and everything like that. And if they do referrals, then I do a circle after that. So it can end up looking pretty messy by the end of the month, but that's okay. And I do one for my retail clients and I do one for wholesale, and you could actually do one for your supervisors as well. So you've actually got 3 sheets, put them up on the on the somewhere where you can see them and just keep adding to it as you go. And sometimes what I'll do too is I'll actually put people that haven't ordered yet on there, like I'm just putting that out into the universe that this person might be interested, and you know, they're going to get started. So for example, Carly, who's coming on Thursday, she's going to go on my list. Okay, I'm going to project out that I want her to be one of my clients and that I can help her. So this is a really great chart. So Lydia, did you have any extra tips on this? Because I know this is something that you use a lot.
Shelley, where you've got your circles there, so just for example, if you say for Erica, I would, at the very top of the circle, I just put 35%.
Yep.
So I know what everybody's ordering at, what percentage. So most would be 25%, but for her 35, and some maybe 42. And also, you know, if Erica has, say, Amanda Hill, who she VIP'd last month, I will, you know, draw a line to Amanda. So obviously I'll try and have Erica or people coming through as supervisors, I'll try and have them to the left and bunched up, the right bunched up, so kept together. So I can see, mainly so I can see that Amanda's ordered another 100 volumes, so then I can advise Erica, because she's not yet on BizWorks. So I can help her fill her gauge out and get used to the system. And also I can see that, yeah, she may have got another 400 volume from her downline. So it's 400 that we've done for the month working towards supervisor. Especially, I guess it's more important if you've got somebody working towards 35% and they're giving you referrals. You could put that phone call in when they're up around 400 or whatever, 350, and let them know that they're only 150 off by the end of the month. Totally up to you. But if you'd like to do it, if you get yourself over the line, you'll be 35% off for life.
Excellent, thank you. And I know you use colour code them and everything, which is really great. So we might have to do just a training just on how to fill one.
Yeah, and then just up on the left-hand side, we just put trial packs.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
On the left-hand side, we put trial packs as well.
Okay, awesome.
So we know how many trial packs we're getting out each month. Yeah, so I've got a trial pack going out Wednesday, so I'll put her name there. And that's why I use this side of the, you know, the circle. So then I can draw a line to say that they became a retail.
Yep.
And also we put in our profit for the month as well, or each week and then monthly. So our profit from retail and our profit and commissions. Yep. So your guys can actually see how much money they're making visually, whether they've spent it or not, but they can see that they made 400 retail and they have no idea where that's gone.
I think that's an excellent way to package your income story as well. If you're keeping track of your profit, then you can package it, and now you're not just talking about your product story, you're also packaging your income story as well. Thank you, Lydia.
Yeah, and especially for the new guys, you know, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Lydia. So the next one is, I just went through this before, the charts, and there's lots of different ones. This is a very basic one that used to come out in one of the literature that Herbalife had, but just showing you that, you know, the weight, bust, waist, hips. I also do arms and legs and any other place that they want to measure, and day 1, day 3 or 4, the end of the first week, second week, and so on. So the one I've got just keeps on going because, of course, I want them to be with me forever. So I've got like a continuous chart. But I love these little tips here. Time to try a different flavoured shake and time to reorder. And I love that there's those reminders so that you know, prompts you to do that. So you could even add these onto your charts if you're new and you're still not in that habit of knowing when someone needs to reorder as well. So just find something that suits you. I've got my charts in the file section of Challenge Yourself Daily, but more than happy to PM it or email that out to you as well. The retail order form. So when you get registered, you get like a whole pad of these, and these are great because there's a duplicate copy, a pink copy and a white copy. So every time you get a customer, you give them a copy. It's got all your details on it. And also then you keep the pink copy, and again, you can keep track of what they've ordered. You've got all their details, you know, the volume and, you know, the profit as well. So that can help support the Get 20, Keep 20 form as well. So did you have any tips for this, Jan?
No, you've covered that well, because it is important to do the retail docket and teach your brand new people to do their retail dockets as well.
Yeah, and look, you know, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, but I can tell you in my whole 28 years, I can count them on my hand. I've probably had 3. So it doesn't, if you're doing follow-up and you're screening people at the start, making sure they're serious, and then you're doing the follow-up, it's very rare that those sort of things happen. How many refunds do you think you've had, Jan?
I've had 2 people that wanted a refund, but I didn't give them a refund. I gave them another set of product. One lady, I gave her added nutrition, the range that we had at that time, you know, to the same value.
Yep.
And the other lady, because she had been ill, it did take her a while to sort of get going on the product. So I gave her another set of products identical to what she actually purchased, letting her know that there was no refund on the next lot. And it's the 3rd week into the second lot, she began really losing some good weight. So she's really, really pleased. So she was happy. She was happy to do it in the first place, obviously.
Yep. Well, yes, I think that's pretty amazing in 32 years. And also it helps you to keep track. You know, you want to treat this as a business, so you want to treat it like a business. And this helps you to keep track. So I've got a book where I write every single client in, so it just runs along. It's like a separate diary, and that way I can just go back and look at. And so when I'm doing my customer 10 for my royalties, then I can, it's just all in front of me. It's just all there. So keep good gauges and you know, keep track of everything. This is like a week in the life of a wellness coach. So this is something that I've just, this is not mine, of course, but I've just made one out. It doesn't quite look as pretty as this. I just hand drew it and color coded it. And basically I have personal development here, time with the girls to get them ready for school and brekkie. If it's the week that I don't have the girls, then I've got options to go and do flyers, and then I've got all the other activities, and then I always finish with personal development at the end. But I've definitely got lots of time blocked in for the girls as well. That we're going to make slime on Thursday, I'm pretty sure. So, yep. And, I've just got different activities that we can fit in. So I've got good balance. So, you know, you can make your own up. You can download one off Challenge Yourself Daily. But, yeah, making sure that you plan out your week. And it can be flexible, of course, because we do have the freedom, if this is what we do full time, to do whatever we want. But you also need to treat it like a business and have structured time, and particularly time to generate inquiries, doing flyers, walk and talks and things like that, and then things to invite them into, like an HOM or a wellness evaluation, somewhere, times to book people in. So before I was just fitting them in wherever, but you know what, it didn't work for me. But when I've got, this is when I'm available, you can do here. If they can't do the here, then I book them into the next one. If they can't do there, I book them into the next one, until they are available, but in the time that I'm available. And I find that works best for me. Irene, did you have any tips on how you've done your schedules in the past?
Yes, well, really well similar. And I think if you're part-time, it's very important that you do have it scheduled out. And at the beginning, I was part-time. So I knew exactly when I got home from work that after cooking dinner, I had to go in and do follow-up, sit down, and I gave myself an hour. And yeah, I think that it also gives you a sense of achievement when you've done it. Whereas if you haven't got any sort of plan, you tend to not really realize that when you're working or what you're doing. And I think it's a brilliant idea. And in any business, they would have that type of, schedule and protocols that you have to follow.
Yeah, so grab it.
Good.
Yeah, get a diary, and definitely one of these is fantastic too. I found it really, really helpful. And you can always change it. The other one is just to have some sort of gauge. I use an exercise book, but you can have the methods that you're doing. So this is what you're planning to do Monday through to Sunday. And, you know, some people like to have the weekends off. That's fine as well. You just got to work around. Are you doing it part-time? Are you doing it full-time? Map out your days and do that. And then this is what you actually did, and this is the calls you got, and this is the results. So you can actually have this like a spreadsheet. I'm not so great at Excel spreadsheets, but I like to just put things in a book because I can flick back and look at it whenever I like. But first you want to plan what you say you're going to do, then what actually happened, how many calls you got from those different things, and then the results, how many new clients and what happened from that. So this is a really good gauge sheet. So use yes, the get 20, keep 20 gauge sheet might be all you need to do that, like you find that easier, but when you're tracking your activity, especially when you're doing a 90-day plan, these things are very effective because you're going to need 12 of them for 12 weeks to do your full 90-day plan. Okay, so you just want to get good at keeping good gauges. So that was basically our retail plan. Obviously, Caitlin's getting a bit tired. I'll get her into bed after this. So what's coming up next are your local events. So what do you have in your local area that you can plug into? Do you have things that are already existing that you can go to? Because if you do, that's where I'd be going. But if you don't despair. Just start doing something yourself. Start an HOM. There's plenty of presentations that are available. You know, do a walking group, or start a weight loss challenge, or start booking in wellness evaluations, because you can work from home, you can go to people's houses, you can have a centre, you can go even a business. I used to do one from the local coffee shop, and I would just do, they let me have some space there each week, and that was worked really well. So whatever you can do to have somewhere consistent that you can plug people into, it's really, really important. Know when your kickoffs and STSs are coming up. I do realise the summit is also coming up for November, so it's a fairly busy month. So just make sure you know what's coming up. So obviously the summit is actually our STS for November, but also December's. I've already written in December's because I've got someone, a new VIP booked to go to the December one. The Christmas catalogue as well, just keep aware of that. The Queensland Recognition Evening and Recruiting, which is for recruiting and volume. I've put the flyer up on Challenge Yourself Daily, and it's also in the Queensland STS and other events group as well, so you can print that off and still go for that. That finishes at the end of November. You have the Adelaide Spectacular in February, so make the decision to go to that. You can get your ticket and take people with you, and it's open to all members, and this is all of Australia and New Zealand coming together, and an amazing way to show people the bigger picture of what Herbalife has to offer. Lots of recognition and fun and announcements and guest speakers, and it's quite an amazing, life-changing weekend, and definitely one you want to get your members to. And then keep in mind too for next year, just in case you're planning out your diary for next year, the Bangkok extravaganza. Pretty sure it's Bangkok, isn't it, Jen? Just double checking.
I think so.
Yep. Around May, generally it's around that date, and that's open to all supervisors. So you need to be a supervisor to go overseas to the extravaganza. And so if there was ever a time to become a supervisor, it would be now, because it opens up even the vacations and things like that. There's lots of things that supervisors get access to. So remember, supervisors never miss out on money. They open up all the areas of marketing plan. And that will lead into our next training next week, where we're going to actually go through the marketing plan and all the different areas of income and how you can access them all and get you to supervisor. Jen and Irene, did you have anything to add to this?
No, I think you've covered everything really well. Thank you, Shirley.
All right. So to finish off, I've got Mark Hughes, and he was our founder, an amazing leader. You know, he set up this legacy for all of us to carry on. And I really feel that if you listen to the Mark Hughes Collections Volume 1, 2 and 3, which you can find on YouTube, it really does give you everything you need to know about this business. So definitely put this on your list if you haven't yet to access that. Obviously there's Jim Rohn, the Millionaire Training Tapes with Larry Thompson. There's lots of real classics. But these ones, you know, you're really learning from the person that started the company, and you pick up so much, and he keeps it pretty simple as well. Okay, so, and he always says that it's simple. If I can do it, you can do it too. And he definitely knew how to keep things simple and duplicatable. So what an amazing person. So that's it for the evening. I'd like to thank everyone for sharing. I'm looking forward to having some more people share on the call. So obviously we've got Eileen and we've got Steve we didn't get to hear from, and Carol and Michael who will be sharing next week. So just keep doing the best you can. I want you to kick off this month and really finish. It's the last quarter of the year, is that right? No, it's not November, December. So it's the last 2 months of the year. So it is in the last quarter. So you want to finish off strong. Do absolutely everything you can. With this warmer weather coming through, people are really looking for the products. And you need to make sure people know that you're the person they come to for Herbalife Nutrition, that they know who you are. So be obvious, use your products obviously, be proud, have fun, and just get out there and do the best you can every day. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your input today. It was a really good call.
Thanks, Shelley.
I'm just going
Thanks,
to
Shelley.
stop share so we can see everyone that was on the call tonight. There you all are. Hello. So thank you, everyone. So I'm just going to convert this and put it on a YouTube link. So Eileen, I'm just not quite sure how to get that to you. I might need to, Jan, I might email it to you and you can forward it to Eileen. Yep. Okay, so I'll do that. So it'll be a recording and then you can send it out. But keep inviting more people on the call. I know Lindy had a few things on tonight. So, yep, just keep getting more and more people. We want to get this cranking. So have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Nice, Sally.
Recording.
Bye.